Well, no trip to the Northwest would be complete without a little rain, and we've got a lot of rain falling right now at Lumen Field in downtown Seattle.
Today, it's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we've got a good one in store between the Las Vegas Raiders and the Seattle Seahawks. The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports.
Here comes Darius Phillips out of the end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. On the ground is Jacobs to start the drive. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity. And that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week. And right now, we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
From the 25 on second down, Carr had his hands on it but dropped it. The rookie making a little bit of a rookie mistake, third down. Well, that's not the way you want to start. A first pass attempt and a first drop all in one.
Well, you've got plenty of time to make up for it, but obviously not the way you want to get things started. Got to shake that off and get going.
Throwing now is Carr. Got a man open. It's Darren Waller. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40.
Carr finding Waller there for the Vegas first.
Normally on third down and short yardage, you're thinking to throw to your tight end. It's just going to be a simple chain mover. But this time they let him roam down the field, and a nice dart picks up the first down and then some.
Carr now on first down.
They swing that out wide to Jacobs.
The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And that's going to bring up second down.
Well, this defense, Charles, really played well in that win a week ago.
Yeah, and what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
On second down, Jacobs. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. A loss on that play, and now third down gets tougher, 3rd and 6.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
Throwing his Carr on third down. And that will be incomplete.
Nice job there forcing that incompletion. This is going to be a fun battle throughout this game, watching him try to take away that area of the field.
So on fourth down, here's A.J. Cole to punt for the Raiders.
They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And he'll get credit for putting him inside the 20 as the fair catch is made right at about the 19-yard line. They'll call that a 33-yard punt with no return. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10.
Here's Walker to start the drive.
And he's going to be stopped here on this first play as he gets it to the line of scrimmage and no more. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. So nothing there that time, and maybe you need to look to the O-line. They weren't able to create any space.
No, they weren't, and you know as well as I do, as many offensive line coaches we've ever met, I think that'll be addressed loudly when those guys get to the sideline.
And they're usually loud and big. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent game.
And the Raiders call on a nickel set for third down. Now it's Ryan. Oh, into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Picked up by Divine Diablo. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. That pick, his 9th on the season.
Remember when we were kids and you were playing Little League Baseball and they penciled you in the 9 spot in the order? That wasn't so good, was it?
Were you in the 9 hole?
Or you played the 9 position, right field. That wasn't so great.
That wasn't. You're picking dandelions out
exactly.
there. But the 9 picks,
you want that in a big way. That's a great season.
Heck of a season. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. To throw, it's Carr. He finds his man, complete. It's Jacobs. And he'll be brought down at the 27.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
The kick by Carlson is good. And the Raiders jump out to a 3-0 advantage. So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Their 2nd drive here, the ballgame, Charles. Remember last time they threw the interception, but the defense held up. It bent a little but didn't break, only giving up the 3 points.
Yeah, obviously they left some points on the table there their last time out, but boy, they have to thank their defense for holding the opposition just 3 after they threw the pick. Their turn now. Back out on the field, put together a good drive, and get some points of their own.
On 1st and 10, it's Ryan. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down. The Seahawks at 7-3 now on the year, and they come in off the extended break from the bye.
And I think it was much needed as well because you play 2.5 months. You know you're ready for some time off in order to get prepared for the home stretch. In fact, when they looked at the schedule to start the season, I think they liked where their open week fell.
2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
Oh, he tries to get it to Metcalf, but it's intercepted. It's Chris Harris with a pick, and he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line.
But to me, it's pretty simple, and it's fairly obvious, isn't it? He's got to start making better decisions with the ball.
That's now 2 interceptions in the first quarter. After interception number 1, there was a long talk on the sideline, and now he's made another mistake.
Yeah, he's just been kind of laying these passes out there. He's kind of been floating them a little bit. He's got to be more decisive in his reads and definitely more decisive in throwing the ball. Rifle it in there every now and then.
5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, You really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will. Here's Carr to throw. And that's complete to Adams. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and it's second down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he get a good head of steam going.
Carr going to give it to Jacobs. And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway because that's your strength.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
One thing that you're going to see from this offense is that they love the matchup with their wide receivers against this secondary. That one wasn't successful, but don't expect them to back away from attacking all game long.
So Carr exits on 4th down, and on comes Daniel Carlson for the field goal try. Carlson able to put this one through, and that will make it 6-0. Well, they already had the early lead, and they get the interception, Charles, and now they add 3 more with the field goal.
Yeah, they're in control of how this game is playing out so far. You mentioned the early lead. Now they're expanding on it, getting plays on both sides of the ball. A winning recipe if they can keep this up.
And he'll be stopped up at the 25. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. And he powers his way up past the 30. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for a first.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
Well, based on what we've seen so far, I don't think you can even call this an off day anymore, partner, because this group we're watching, they are totally out of rhythm, trying to get their game plan up and running. That 0 on the scoreboard is glaring down at them with every incompletion.
Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. 36 yards on the punt with no return. And it'll be Raiders football, 1st and 10. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to play. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're in first place in their division, looking really good and looking to be a threat come January.
And are you one of those early holiday shoppers, partner? Are you one of those guys get your list done? Because I think about what every team has on their holiday shopping list right now. What's the #1 goal? Make the playoffs. #2, win your division. #3, and I think the biggest goal of all,
try to get the #1 seed so you get that first-round bye and ensure you don't have to go anywhere in January and hopefully get to the Super Bowl that way.
McCarr finding his former college teammate Adams there for the Raider first.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Jacobs. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. Just a gain of a couple there, and that'll make it second down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Carr's throw complete here to Waller.
Short completion, just 4 yards, and now it's 3rd and 4.
And let's face it, you can put any Halloween costume on him. You're not going to be able to disguise him because for a tight end of his size, difficult to sneak him anywhere, but that's what they tried to do. Lined up on his right, tried to work his way back to his left, but just a minimal gain as the defense was able to react quickly.
He has a man. It's complete to Wilson.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one good for 24 yards. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful with how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Carr now to throw. Caught on the right side by Adams.
And they're going to get this down inside the 20.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Trying to run forward with Jacobs. And he's going to have a first down here as he gets this one to the 17-yard line.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And then the next breath they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. On first down, they go with Jacobs again. And he'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 14-yard line.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense, and guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. To throw his Carr.
He'll get this underneath to Jacobs. And the Raiders are going to be looking at 1st and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
A kicker fest so far, all points via field goals. They're hoping to change that right here. Jacobs is not going to get a whole lot, maybe a yard down to the 3.
He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal. Looking at this now, you got a couple more cracks here this close. Sneak it?
I don't think you even go into a huddle. Just line up, snap it, and fall in behind those guys into the end zone.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. Throw left side complete. That's Johnson. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down. From the gun, it's Carr. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Another good drive, Charles, but it looks like another that might end in a field goal try.
They've made some nice plays. They've given themselves opportunities, but as you noted, another field goal attempt coming up. And that's not how they want to end drives. They've got to figure out what's the final touch that they need to push it across the goal line.
Yeah, still yet to find the end zone.
So a long drive gets them down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And they enter play here in this one on a 2-game win streak, plus they come off the open week as well. So this is a team that has a lot of things working in their favor.
Oh, it certainly is, and let's face it, this team is playing so well. The worry now is that after a few extra days off, they'll be sluggish coming into this game. So I've heard that he spent more time in practice working what they call good versus good, starting offense versus starting defense. They want a fast start in this next game.
Second and 6, just inside the 30. Sticking with Walker on second down. And some room to work. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 41 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far. Walker now on 1st and 10. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. And Walker once more. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Well, that's not an easy play for a defensive end because most of his responsibility has him getting upfield and working, but how about his vision to see where the play was going, crashed down inside, and tackled him for a loss.
Now left side on the swing pass. And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it could turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
On 3rd down, Ryan. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. Touchdown, Seahawks. DK Metcalf with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Seahawks get a late score here in the final minute of the first half. The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And the lead is down to 2. So the lead shaved to 2 now as the kickoff is away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that could change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half. But he'll definitely say that that's one he should have held on to. But when you're playing in elements like this, sometimes those bullet passes, those ones with a little bit of pace on them, they can be difficult to hold on to.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Carr. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop him with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. So after the sack, Carr in Las Vegas with a 3rd and long. Not wanting to risk another sack, they'll play it safe with a run. And they'll indeed stop him on 3rd down. And now what do you want to do with your timeouts? Now a second timeout called for by the defense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime.
On fourth down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Taken from just outside the 30. Now a hit and a loose football. There he goes, right side. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return for 6 and a Raider touchdown. Now for the extra point, Daniel Carlson. And that makes it a 9-point game.
Next to score, Raiders 16, Seahawks 7.
So 6 seconds, all that remains of this first half as the kick is away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Seahawks take over first down 10.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And only 6 seconds on the clock, so time likely for just one play. A running play on first down will get 4 up to the 29. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. They'll keep it on the ground again here. And they're going to be waiting for him as they get him behind the line. So we come upon halftime with 9 points separating these two teams. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. By no means certainly are they out of this contest. 2-score game start of the third quarter, but you feel like if they don't get points and then they give up points, then it can become a slippery slope. This feels like an important possession.
Yeah, and that slope becomes even more slick if you come away empty-handed on this drive, because then you give them a chance to extend their lead. You need some kind of points here, even if it's just a field goal. It's what I call one of those calming drives. Try and slow things down a little bit.
They will get 4 yards here on the first down run, and that'll make it 2nd and 6.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming.
I thought he did a nice job there setting an edge and make sure nothing could get to the outside, but he decided that wasn't enough for him. Worked his way back inside and made the tackle on the ball carrier.
From the gun on third down, Ryan. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already, and it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
And here's Dixon to punt now as he gets this one away. Taken in at the 22. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going, so what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. No, bottled up fumble. It's out. It's loose. And now Miller hit, and he fumbles. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line.
All these years we've been watching the game, I start to get the sense that whenever it rains out, those guys who have to touch the ball and carry it, they're extremely resentful about that weather.
Yeah, I'm just happy I'm not resentful that we have a roof over our heads. I know that much.
Yeah, maybe we won't fumble our play sheets here as we just saw the fumble happen on the field.
Tackle made there by Bilal Nichols.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. But the passing windows are just not there, and that's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
Ryan. And this is going to be incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. 31 yards on the punt there. And they will take over 1st and 10.
What now?
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You've got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. One play has them up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. A handoff, Jacobs running to the left. 43 yards on the ground for him so far.
He hadn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Once again, it's Jacobs. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. We talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a 1st down. Going old reliable there to the slot on 3rd down.
And the slot position has become the bane of just about every defense's existence because how do you cover? Do you go with a bigger guy to try and use size? Got to try to go with a quicker guy and sometimes even get out quick there. Very difficult to match up with that slot receiver. That's why they keep going back to him.
And he's had the hot hand.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
But plain and simple, that's the 2nd time today that he's dropped a pass.
And that one, I think, maybe even a little easier than the earlier one that he dropped. Surprising.
Was this game announced as a night game prior to, and maybe his rhythm is just off? He's got thrown off. He's got to wake up, enjoy the sunshine, and go play.
He gets it left side to Johnson. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. They've got another 1st down. The Raider passing game clicking on all cylinders right now.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, They almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
A gain of 3, second down.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Here's Carr. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Adams. And they're going to get this down inside the 20.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Carr going to try and throw on 3rd down. Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Coaches talk about it all the time. Players talk about it as well. Excellent job staying disciplined in coverage and making that stop. Inside the red zone, every stop like that could be preventing a possible touchdown.
1 down. Kill.
They'll go for it. It's Carr. And that's going to be caught for a Raider touchdown. Davante Adams from 19 yards away. And the Raiders' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the 3rd quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked off by Sidney Jones. Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. And he takes it all the way back. It's a pick 2, if you will, as that play backfires in a big way.
Well, there's some excitement, right? Go for 2, and instead it gets picked off. And how about the return? Give him a lot of credit, though, for not giving up after the play.
Yeah, the troops rallied.
Exactly, and getting back there and making the tackle and not giving up 2 points themselves.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And really, Charles, not much of a surprise that they're losing. They just haven't been able to get much of anything going in the pass game. And as you well know, in today's NFL, if the passing game isn't working, usually not much else is working either.
You're exactly right about that, partner. And I know that right now the easy answer would be, hey, let's run the football. But that might not be everything you need. So despite the fact that they've struggled throwing it, they've got to find some type of a play, multiple plays, that puts the ball in the air and allows for them to have some success.
He's got a man complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. 27 yards there, a 1st down. Final minute now of the 3rd quarter. Trying the left side with Walker. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Ryan. He'll find Metcalf. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 30. 3 quarters in the books. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Up the middle, here's Walker. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Play action. It's Ryan. Flushed out right. And that one off the mark behind him. Incomplete.
As soon as I saw him break contain and get outside, my first thought and my eyes gravitated downfield, because nowadays, most of these quarterbacks, when they do that, they want the big play downfield. They don't want to throw it short. In this case, he took the shot. It fell incomplete.
To throw is Ryan. And this will be caught by Metcalf for a Seahawk touchdown. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Seahawks have made it a one-score game again here in the 4th. Extra point up and through by Myers. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fields it right around the goal line. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Their lead back down to 1 score after the touchdown a moment ago. 1st down's a must on this drive as they start out here 1st and 10. And now the drive starts with a completion out to the right. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a 2nd and just a few inches left. Running straight ahead is Jacobs. And this is going to be a Raiders 1st down as he gets it up past the 35. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
Now a play fake. Carr. And it's complete to Adams. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. The end result, 21 yards.
And these guys certainly are not hiding what their intention is. They're absolutely showing it. They're definitely not going to sit on this lead here in the 4th quarter.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 43. They'll run right here with Jacobs. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. If you can keep getting gains like that, Charles, with the lead here in the 4th quarter, I mean, keep running it, right?
No doubt about it, but what the offense coordinator has to do is understand. They're going to continue to stack the line of scrimmage. What runs do you have in your arsenal that'll work against a stacked box and continue to move the ball?
2nd down, Jacobs once more. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
2nd and 1 and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the 1st down.
They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. And he's going to take this one down to the 25. 73 yards rushing for him now to this point. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 12-yard line. They've got another first down. The Raider passing game clicking on all cylinders right now. Here's a handoff to Jacobs running left. And here he'll get it down to the 7. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
He'll be taken down well behind the line, and I think he might have just given those 4 yards right back. They lost 4 there, and it's third down. That's the danger, Charles, of running plays like this for your wide receiver. They can hit big or they can be duds.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that, because if they're forced to try and go around defenders behind the line of scrimmage, sometimes you can give yardage in order to gain it. But in this case, they gave yardage and didn't get it back.
He needed 9, he got 8. And that's going to leave him with a 4th and 1 on their side of the field. The kick by Carlson is good, and that will make this a 9-point lead. So that's, CD, an important one here in the fourth quarter.
And that importance cannot be overstated. All eyes on both sidelines were staring that one down all the way. The significance is that they made it a 2-score game. Still lots of time left to go, but likely that was their goal at the start of the drive. Get 3 points, make it a 2-score game, and they were able to get it done.
And able to get this out to the 25. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And the complexion of this one has changed a fair amount. That last field goal made it a 2-score game, so they need to get points out of this drive relatively quickly. And he can't escape the pressure. Ryan goes down. Finally hauled down for the first time this game. Multiple defenders in there to drop him. Chalk that up as their first sack in this game, and they tallied 4 a week ago.
And probably not as much exultation in that sack as what took us so long. Because when you get 4 the previous week, you're counting on continuing that momentum. They didn't get that done in the first half of the game. Let's see now if they start to bring even more exotic pressure towards the quarterback.
Steps away to his left. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down.
Give it big credit for his coverage right there, because when he saw the route break deep, he stayed in position to prevent a completion while avoiding any risk of a flag.
The offense on third down, they've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 17. From the gun, it's Ryan. He lets it fly for Lockett. And that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete.
When you're leading in the final quarter, your radar has to be up for any potential deep shots. And probably not the last one they're going to see in this game, not as long as they hold this lead.
Here we go. It's Ryan on 4th down. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Seahawks go for it but can't convert. And, boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone.
Get down, get down.
Carr going to give it to Jacobs. And he'll get maybe a couple before he's taken down, as that will take us to the 2-minute warning. Jordan Brooks on the tackle. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8.
Jacobs going to try the middle, and he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame. This is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. On third down, here comes Jacobs. And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line. Give him the third down conversion, 5 yards on the play. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
Here's Jacobs. And he's brought down right at the 5-yard line. Give him 2 on the play.
Not a whole lot there on first and goal, and that's what you're looking for defensively. You'll certainly live with giving up just a yard or 2 in this situation.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's second and goal. The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here.